Life in retirement for Bernie has centered around music. He has released a pair of albums and spends much of his time touring. Later in this off-season, we will dedicate an entire show to Bernie and his life since retiring from baseball. This week, though, we have a special treat as we recently used our all-access pass to Williams' concert at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Soundcheck is the first order of business for Bernie Williams. He and the band all get on the same page.
Okay, so we're going down the line, grid roll, no percussion, just drum solo, right? Yep.
Well, first of all, it starts even way before we even get at the venue. You got to meet everybody, get our back line, our sound requirements all taken care of. And once we arrive, making sure everything that we planned before the show is ready to be executed and laid out. They don't play together all the time. They don't get to rehearse every other day. They take weeks off in between shows, and when they get back together on a stage like today, they play and just gel again like they've been playing nonstop for the past couple of months. And it kind of reminds me of the chemistry that Bernie had in his lineup with that legendary Yankee team throughout the course of the 90s.
The preparations for a concert are similar to those for a ball game. Bernie discusses the differences for him.
That's the one thing that I know that is very similar to baseball. This moment, you know, like an hour before the game, an hour before the concert, this is kind of like the time you get your mind, you know, straight. You know, go over the songs that you're going to play. You're going to try to see what elements of improvisation you're going to utilize in all the songs. Try to get your sound as clean as you can. The one thing about baseball that made it harder was that you can go through the same stuff that I'm going right now, but I had absolutely no idea how it was going to come out. You know, at least now I have a pretty good idea how the show is going to go. If I do my job, and you know, obviously the music is going to be great, you know. But in baseball, you don't have any control over an umpire calling a pitch right on the corner, or you're hitting the ball right on the button, right at somebody. Hopefully you'll be ready like when the time really comes, like in the clutch situation, and you kind of like, you know, you focus all your attention on what you have to do.
Please welcome back to the Wolf Den stage, Bernie Williams.
Playing in front of a live crowd is something Bernie gets amped up for, and it does provide some goosebumps for him, but not the same as playing baseball.
I used to get goosebumps a lot the first couple of times that I was on stage, because there were so many moving parts that I didn't really have a lot of control. And I think, you know, obviously my playing wasn't really as good, so I was a little bit more concerned with what people would think, as opposed to just rather enjoy the moment and just feed off the energy of the crowd. I think, you know, as opposed to baseball, this is one situation in which I think most of the people out there listening are kind of rooting for me. And I feel that, you know, I feel that energy from the crowd, and, you know, hopefully it'll be a great performance.
Bernie loves to play his original music for fans and has an emotional tie to the songs he plays.
Well, the songs are all special in their own way. I think we're going to play a little bit of newer material that we haven't played before. We've got a couple of covers that we're going to play. You know, I do a rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game that has been sort of all over the place. Then I like to end the concert with this particular song because, I don't know, it just comes from the heart, and I had a really hard time about 2 years after I stopped playing. And I was just going right into the music, and you know, it just felt right to do my version of this song that has meant a lot to me for over the years. But this next couple of times that I'm going to play it, I'm definitely going to have Yogi in my mind, because obviously as a tribute to his life and everything that he did for this game and for the Yankee organization.
The Yankees teams of the late 1990s and early 2000s boasted Bernie Williams and other homegrown stars like Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, and of course, Derek Jeter, all of whom were a huge part of a phenomenal dynasty that saw the Yankees win 4 World Championships and 6 American League pennants over an 8-year span.